Let's bring in Israel's ambassador to the UN, Danny Danon. Mr. Ambassador, thanks so much for joining the program. It was a successful operation yesterday from Israel. What intelligence did you gain through the Mossad that made this attack so imminent that you guys felt like y'all had to take action yesterday?
Well, first, I agree with you. It was a historic night last night. You know, for years we hear the threats coming from Iran to destroy Israel, to destroy the U.S., but we gathered the intelligence that they're actually moving forward. Basically, there are a few ideas that we realize that are going to implement them. One that we all talk about is the nuclear capabilities. They already have it. It's a matter of days. Secondly, the ballistic missiles. We don't speak a lot about it, but they had a mass production of ballistic missiles. They wanted to be at the same level of the US and Russia in terms of the number of ballistic missiles, to produce every month hundreds of missiles and to threaten Israel with a mega power of ballistic missiles. And third, the proxies. They were going to initiate another attack like October 7th. Once we gathered the information about that, we decided not to wait. We believed their intentions. History have taught us to take very seriously threats from radical regimes. So, and also, look what happened last night. 100 drones. We expect very intense days ahead of us. You know, we expect ballistic missiles that will fly into Israel. It will be very challenging for us, but we took that risk because we realized the option to wait for Iran to actually assemble the nuclear capability on the ballistic missiles, we cannot wait for that.
Mr. Ambassador, did you destroy their entire nuclear program? Is the nuclear threat gone now?
Well, it's still not over. It's going to be a long operation. You know, Iran is a huge country, and they spread the facilities all around Iran. It will require more efforts from our side, and we are determined. We are determined to finish the job. We know it will require not only major efforts from our military and air force. You know, last night, more than 200 aircrafts took part in the operation, but also the civilians in Israel will have to be strong, will have to be brave, and we are ready for that. We prepared them last night. We told them to get ready. It's going to be hard for the population, but it's worth it because it will allow us to stay and to live and to prosper.
So this action has been going on for not quite 12 hours yet. Has anything happened over the last 12 hours that has surprised you? Is there anything that you thought that Iran was capable of or was not capable of that has happened?
First, you know, without getting into details, you know, we have to give credit to our intelligence. You know, the activities of the Mossad, you know, there were actions that were taken in Iran, not only with aircrafts, you know, and I think today that you look at the leadership of Iran this morning, it's a different one. Many of the bad actors are not with us anymore, and that makes the world a better place for all of us. Regarding Iran, you know, they move slowly. Also, when we had another operation, it took them a few days to react. So we expect to see more coming from Iran into Israel.
How were you able to find out where these sites were, where these military leaders were?
Well, you know, the sites, you know, we knew for years about the locations of the sites. Regarding the leadership, you know, we have very good intelligence, and we showed them that we can actually get to them. And, you know, we attacked only people who were involved with the nuclear program or people who were involved in the military, and we targeted them. But we proved to the Iranians that we can get anywhere in Tehran today. We have nothing against the Iranian people. You know, we pray that they will have a better leadership and a better future, but we went after the leaders of the regime.
How confident are you that you've avoided any civilian targets?
Well, you know, you look at the time that the attack took place, you know, middle of the night. So usually you don't have people in the streets. And we took the precautions to minimize casualties.
So, Mr. Ambassador, I guess it's a two-part question. You said part of the intelligence that you gathered was they were planning some other attack like October the 7th. And then you had the United States that was trying to negotiate peace as well. At what point in the conversation did you realize that the Iranians were not interested in peace?
Well, you know, we have experience with the Iranians. They are masters in deception, in talks, and at the same time moving very fast. And once we realize that they are lying and that they're actually moving forward, and you mentioned October 7th. Let's remind everybody what happened on October 7th. Thousands of rockets flew into Israel, and at the same time, Hamas invaded our communities in the south. So imagine Iran would have the capability to send thousands of ballistic missiles into Israel. Everyone will have to be in shelters, And then they wanted to actually send their proxies to invade Israel again. So we didn't wait this time. We were caught by surprise on October 7th. With Iran, we decided that we were not going to wait.
So did y'all stop that follow-up attack, or did y'all have intelligence of that future attack happening?
So we knew that they have the intention, and as I mentioned earlier, they wanted to build the capability of the ballistic missiles to send everybody into the shelters to allow their proxies to invade Israel. So it was a preemptive attack to defend Israel, and I think the world will thank us. Maybe not today. We were going to hear condemnation. I'm sure at the UN today it's going to be a rough day for me and my team. But, you know, look what happened in the 80s when we attacked the nuclear reactor in Iraq. At the beginning, Israel was condemned, and then everybody praised Israel. Same happened when we attacked the nuclear reactor in Syria. And I'm sure that in the future, people will recognize that what we did last night was a historic moment, not only for Israel, but for Western civilization.
Yeah, the most significant attack on Iran since the 80s during the war with Iraq. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for coming on. We're praying for y'all. God bless you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, said the longer that they waited, that Israel waited, the greater the odds that Iran would have thousands of long-range deadly rockets and possible nukes. And he said this is a clear and present danger to Israel's very survival.
And it's not just Israel, it's the United States.
You're
it's
right.
the #1 state sponsor of terror. As you guys know, they also have had an assassination plot on our president, Donald J. Trump.
They call us the big Satan.
That's right.
Israel's the little Satan.
That's right.
I'm Steve Doocy.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.